of us favorite foods to go to is bread. And you know, bread has this long history of, you know, being something that's like a comfort food that often fills us up. But we all know that, you know, the average bread contains high carb content and often just, you know, stays in our body, you know, and gets stored as fats, and, you know, is not adding up to be as nutritional in value. Now, bread is very versatile. We have wheat, we have white flour, we have rye, we have all sorts of different ingredients. But what about making or choosing breads that could be a healthier option for you to sustain your body? So what I've done is I've pretty much recreated another version of bread. And today we're going to use a high fiber, high iron content spelt flour bread. We're going to recreate this bread to not just give you the comfort that you need, but also to add such a nutritional value to you. And spelt flour, as you know, is vegan and it's alkaline, which is very healthy for the body. So I've already went ahead and laid out my ingredients. I have about 2 cups of spelt flour. I have half a cup of coconut flakes. We're going to add a little bit of coconut kick to it. I have a little quarter teaspoon of date sugar, just to give it a little nice little sweet taste. I have about 2 teaspoons of baking soda, which is like a rising agent to make the bread rise. Have about half a cup of, you know, lukewarm water to add to the dough, and we also have some extra virgin olive oil. We'll add about 2 teaspoons of that to the mixture for a nice tasty bread. So let's get on with the spelt flour rock and roll. You know, let's get on with this making of a recreation of our spelt flour bread, and we're going to add this versatile flavor of coconut into it. So here we have a close-up view of, you know, spelt flour, which is already in the bowl, about 2 cups. We have here on this plate about half a cup of shredded coconut flakes, which you're going to add to give it that nice coconut flavor, about quarter teaspoon of date sugar, about 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and about half a cup of water in here. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to give it that nice flavor and consistency. So here we go with the spelt flour bread with a kick of coconut added to it. So we're off to our recreation process of making our spelt flour bread. And I have in here 2 cups of spelt flour, and we're going to add all the dry ingredients together in, which is the coconut flakes, the date sugar, and the baking soda. So we're just going to go ahead and mix this in, and we'll slowly add in our lukewarm water, and then we'll of course end it with a kick of the extra virgin olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of that, and then we'll go ahead and have it rise for about 20 minutes, and then off to the baking of the bread. So let's just slowly add our water in. A nice dough. And of course, as we go in, we could, you know, just based on how the dough is coming out and kneading, we could add more water if necessary. And of course, we'll use our hands to finish kneading it up. You know, coconut is another great alkaline food that's just so nourishing for the body, with great omega free fatty acids, which is, you know, healthy fats for our body, necessary, especially even for our brain. You know, omega free fatty acids is good for that. Packed with also electrolytes, which is very good in energizing our bodies. And so we're gonna add that kick to it. For a nice coconut version, Spelt flour bread. If the consistency is pretty good, I'll go ahead and add in some water and then the olive oil at the end. So here we have our Spelt flour dough, fully kneaded after about, I would say, 5 minutes. You went ahead and added, of course, you know, the coconut and a little bit more water, about 1/4 cup more. Let's give it that nice consistency that we like, and we're just gonna cover it for about 20 minutes so that it can rise. And then, of course, we'll form our bread shape and then heat up our oven at 425 degrees to be baked. You know, I would like to say about maybe 45 minutes, give and take, but we'll see. It all depends, you know, on how long, you know, the bread decides to take to be fully baked. So let's take a pause on this and let this nice consistency coconut flour, Spelt flour bread rise so that we could have a healthier version of our bread. So here we have our risen Spelt coconut flour dough that we're gonna now shape into a bread. And I've already laid out my dish here with some extra virgin olive oil. We'll go ahead and just form it into a nice bread shape, and then we'll put it in the oven to be baked. So here we have our bread kneaded into a beautiful shape, you know, crisscross. Good. Look at it as like a twist shape. You know, imagine you just braiding your hair. So we formed it into this beautiful shape for a nice French tip style coconut Spelt flour bread. Oui, oui, ça bien. So here I have it. I have already preheated my oven to 425 degrees, and we're now gonna go ahead and put it to be baked for this delicious recreation of our bread for a much healthier version, full of fiber and iron. So here we go for a beautiful, delicious, tasty vegan alkaline Spelt flour coconut twisted bread. Beautiful. So here we have this bread, the final step, about to put it into our oven, which it has already been heating for about 10 minutes. So we'll just go ahead and start breaking this delicious, even looking bread with this French style tip. And I can't wait to see how it tastes. So here we go, ready for the baking process. So here we have our bread nicely baked for about 25 minutes. And you know, we're just gonna let it warm up maybe another 5-10 minutes, and we'll be off for a delicious tasting French style tip coconut Spelt flour vegan bread. Looks and smells amazing, just so beautiful, wonderfully crafted and amazing. So here we have the tip of the French style Spelt flour coconut tip bread, and we've added a little bit of coconut spread on there, and we're ready for tasting. So let's see how it tastes. So beautiful and just smells amazing. So after 25 minutes of baking, here we have our final product of our French style tip coconut vegan Spelt flour bread, and we've added just a little bit of coconut spread onto it. We're off to a tasting process, and it has been warm for about 15 minutes. So we'll go ahead and taste this delicious bread. Very crunchy, as you could probably hear. Just a nice savory taste as we added the olive oil as well. And of course it tastes like bread, but just, that nice coconut flavored bread. So here we go again, another delicious treat that we recreated as a healthier treat of a vegan alkaline based diet of this French style tea, coconut spelt flour bread. So again, we could always recreate those healthier, delicious meals for ourselves for a healthier well-being. So why don't you go ahead and try this amazing recipe for this bread. Cheers.